The talus balls are a symbol of our city's hope and pride and determination. And putting them behind a fence isn't a good look. Hi, I'm Ethan Ledig, reporting live with ETV News. Today, we're taking a look at the fence around the talus balls and why it should be removed. Good evening, and thank you for joining me. My name is Ethan Ledig, and I'm reporting live for ETV News at one of Edmonton's most controversial landmarks, the Talus Dome. Now, as you can see behind me, controversy has struck this dome once again, but not for the reason you might be thinking. You see, this wonderful sculpture has been wrongfully imprisoned behind bars. And for committing what crime, you may be wondering? Simply the crime of existing. Now, if you think that's wrong, you're not alone. Let's look a little bit more about what's going on here. But first, let's learn a little bit more about this magnificent art piece. Comprising of 176 steel balls, this art piece was installed in 2011, though many people may not know that these balls date as far back as the early 1900s and were produced in one of Edmonton's very first steel mills. Now, each ball is a unique diameter down to the decimal of the centimeter, also known as the millimeter. Now, why would this beautiful piece of art be fenced off and restricted from the public accessing it? We're not exactly sure why, but sources online are speculating. Some believe that this area of land right here is currently being designated a national park by the government of Canada. Some believe that these balls have so much history that they must be preserved in any way possible. Now, the fence is a temporary measure because with the announcement of a national parks program, there's always a risk of bears. Bears love national parks. And you may not know this, but bears actually are unable to see the color chrome. So this big pile of balls right here, to a bear's eye, just looks like a bunch of berries. And it's hibernating season, if you know what I mean. Others suggest that the fence is in place because every single night a man comes, or a woman comes to this here statue, a statue if you will, and removes one of the balls and replaces it with an identical ball. Now, at the end of 176 nights, will this sculpture still be the same sculpture that it was before? It's a really important question, and it's actually driving a lot of people crazy. I'm getting word from the studio. We are getting some breaking news. Sources are now telling us that the fence around the talus balls may actually be a figment of my imagination. Recent ancient scrolls that were found buried underground are suggesting that each one of these balls may contain the soul of those who have trespassed beyond this fence. This fence may contain some sort of arcane power that is trapping the souls of people who trespass beyond it inside the balls. Do you understand? That's crazy. So that's just what the scrolls are saying. My producer specifically told me not to mention this, but I hate this fence so much. Some scientists believe that the fence has been put around the balls because at nighttime, the balls get a little thirsty and they actually roll down the hill to the North Saskatchewan River here for a little drink of water. But they're not allowed to do that because they shouldn't be drinking water if they're made out of metal, because then it gets rusty and gross, and they should stay behind the fence. But I don't think that. That's what the scientists think. In the wintertime, the balls actually shrink by up to 10%, and that's okay. Regardless of why this fence is here, if you're like me, you believe that it shouldn't be. No piece of art like this, as beautiful as it is, should be restricted from people going up to it and doing whatever they want to it, because that's what art is all about. It's about connecting with society. So, if you want this fence gone, click the link in the description below to sign the petition to remove this fence. Now, I'm not advocating for this, but forums online are organizing a fence takedown in the park this Saturday. Bring your bolt cutters, bring your angle grinders, bring anything you can use to take down this fence. Again, I'm not saying you should do it. I think you shouldn't do it. But it's happening. Be aware. Well, there you have it, folks. Another happy story about a man and his balls. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I've been Ethan Ledig with ETV News. Have a good night and take care. Don't believe everything you read on scrolls, am I right? Ugh.